Well, probably a surprise to all of us because today was that sort of marketed day for Titanium Trials, the new event for Warzone to be kicking off, and while that did, it wasn't the only thing that we ended up getting in the Call of Duty space. In fact, we ended up getting something that we're talking about today for Modern Warfare 2. Something that wasn't published at the normal time per se, but we got our first bit of multiplayer footage showcased to us, like genuine multiplayer footage with weapon firing, some equipment and all, in a new first look at another map that Infinity Ward has debuted ahead of the multiplayer reveal and the next event coming next month. Today we're breaking down what we saw, what we learned, and what more we can end up looking out for in regards to the coming weeks ahead of the multiplayer reveal. So as we go along, drop your thoughts down below. Are you looking forward to seeing more gameplay here from the official Call of Duty and Infinity Ward channels? Of the brief bit of footage we got today, how you feeling about the map they detailed and the look of the game so far? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts below. But if you enjoyed the video, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, do make sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with all things Modern Warfare 2 and everything Call of Duty related. We're gearing up for the Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer reveal here very soon, so as all things build up, make sure you're here for all of it. And finally, today and throughout the weekend, my friends over at G Fuel have bumped up code Espresso to 30% off your entire order. So if you'd like to grab a restock or try anything out for the very first time, head on over to the link in the description below and use code Espresso. If you want any recommendations, I'd say the Morbius Nectarine flavor, Pink Drip, Hype Sauce, Strawberry Banana, and Starfruit, those are probably my top 5 right now, so check those and any others out. But that said, let's get back to Modern Warfare 2. So today's information came directly from Call of Duty and Infinity Ward, posting a behind-the-scenes video of the creation of one of the new upcoming maps, Farm 18. This was a map that was detailed to us all the way back in June in our press briefing here, talking a little bit about multiplayer. Of course, at that point, they're more so just focused on showing off the basics of the game, letting us know, hey, it's Modern Warfare 2, this is what you can expect. But Farm 18 was one of those maps when we talked about multiplayer in a brief fashion that we learned about. We didn't see anything about it, but we knew of its existence. Now, a few moments ago, I mentioned this was seemingly at a time that we're not necessarily used to, because this was, instead of published at 10 a.m. Pacific time, it was published at 10:41 a.m. Pacific, and that also then equates out to 6:41 p.m. in the UK. But for us East Coasters, well, that was published at 1:41. You sneaky devils. 1:41 in the afternoon, and we got more details on Modern Warfare 2's multiplayer and some of the experience here that we learned. But this video showcased some behind-the-scenes footage, talking through the design intent, some gameplay, showing how they ended up building the level and things like that. And overall, this kind of stuff is relatively fascinating to me as is. But of course, to see our first looks at the actual game in progress, I like the sound of that. Now, of course, describing it is one thing, but how about we just show it to you if you guys missed it?
How we designed a new map for Modern Warfare 2.
My name is Jeffrey Smith. I'm a director of multiplayer design. Farm 18 came out of the idea of, we kind of like the shoot house facility map, so we decided to think of hidden training facilities, but it's also in an industrial cement factory. And the idea was, what if we put a shoot house type situation in the middle? If you really want to play that crazy game, you can go to the center and that action will find you. If you want to pull back and play a different way, it's still available to you.
I'm Ashley Thundercliff, and I'm a senior environment artist. So when the design has approved the layout of the map and we're happy with it, and we come in and we transform those blockhouses into full-fledged environments for the players to immerse themselves in. The other problem was balancing the foliage. If we go too dense with the foliage, we have people hide in the corners. If we don't go dense enough, we don't sell the narrative of the overgrowth. So it's all a perfect balance between all departments trying to find the perfect harmony to make sure that we've got a beautiful, realistic looking space, whilst also being fun for the players to enjoy.
Pre-order now and get early access to the open beta.
So pretty fascinating if you ask me. Honestly, like, I could sit down and watch a whole developmental sort of documentary on this kind of stuff, regardless of the game. That stuff is just always fascinating to me. I don't know if it's the same for you guys, but there's a couple of things that I took away from this video in particular. Gameplay-wise, graphically, I personally think it looks great. Looks like an improvement, or rather building up upon what Modern Warfare 2019 laid down as a framework, and that M4A1 looks and sounds pretty great. We got to see, of course, a couple of different sequences of that firing. We got to see the character throwing a thermite at the very beginning. The recoil, though, on the part where the M4A1 was firing was kind of crazy, which is interesting to see if that will be for exaggerated purpose, if that's natural, or where the new creator class actually comes into play perhaps and actually offers up that much in terms of adjusting power to it, where you'll have that weapon attachment tuning that we learned about, adding way more depth to the customization of your builds. Maybe that does play a key factor in control and how you can end up mitigating that recoil. We just don't know at the moment. Map-wise though, Farm 18 gives me heavy Modern Warfare 3 vibes for some reason, but kind of mixed with Modern Warfare 2019 as well, as to be expected. Like, I immediately jumped to the sort of combination of Foundation from Modern Warfare 3, but mixed with Grasna Raid from Modern Warfare 2018, as well as that described shoot house sort of breach and clear center of the map. I like that, kind of gives a bit of everything it seems, kind of reminds me at least in design of Condor Hideout and things like that, where there's long lines of sight on the edge, but the central buildings are all SMG and shotgun play. For me, I kind of like that. I like the ability to be able to do whatever you want, but I will say that central sort of shoot house location that they described it does look very claustrophobic. I do think that that's going to be a shotgun heavy map if it plays out how I'm thinking. But outside of that, verticality is something that is interesting here because it seems like there's only mainly 2 stories off of what was shown here. Upper stories is sort of second story in that ground floor, inside buildings in that sort of lower outside portion as well. Though there was one flash of what appeared to be the indoor training facility that had a ladder going up to what looked like a 3rd or 4th story, which could be inaccessible for design purposes only, kind of playing to the aesthetic of it. But I mean, who knows? Maybe you can get up there, and it looks like it's a graded catwalk, so maybe you can go up there, you see everything, but you're also vulnerable from every single angle, giving enemies the ability to shoot through that catwalk and take you out. So very high risk, very high reward. And hopefully they learned from those issues with Scrapyard and Verdansk in the MP versions that you should be able to shoot through those catwalks if there are holes in it. Maybe you're not hitting every single shot like it's paper or plywood walls or something like that, but you should be able to at least connect on a couple, maybe deviating, hitting metal here and there. But I mean, in the Scrapyard for MP and in Verdansk, you couldn't shoot through that 3rd story catwalk at all. But the final thing that I take away from this is that it seems like they may be learning from some of the mistakes of Modern Warfare 2019 in the fundamentals of the map designs. Because with their vision for foliage, it seems like, and keep in mind, seems like is what we're focusing on here because we don't know what anything else looks like. It seems like they're aware of the camping situation where people would sit in the foliage in the corners and things like that, but while also trying to keep that overgrown design, you got to find that balance. So fingers crossed this doesn't encourage as much camping to the degree that Modern Warfare 2019 did. But from here, where else do we go? What else can we expect? Well, we of course did learn that we're going to see these intel drops here from now until the next event, but it seems like they're going to be coming in maybe perhaps much more frequency than we may expect. This isn't going to be a one and done thing here, as it's also described that Infinity Ward posted the first in a series of intel drop videos taking players behind the scenes with Modern Warfare 2. The first vignette covers Farm 18, one of the Modern Warfare 2 beta multiplayer maps, letting players know that there will be more coming. So very much so looking forward to that. Beyond that though, that's what we learned about Modern Warfare 2 and Farm 18 here. And again, I'm very much so looking forward to what's upcoming. But while we wait to tide us over here, of course, we did just get the Titanium Trials Endurance event in Warzone. If you guys want to earn some camos, play out on the new LTM in Warzone. If that's your cup of tea, I know that it's not for everybody, but that's something that may be able to tide you over. Maybe we end up getting one of these per week or so, maybe a couple a week, maybe like 2 or so every week. We just don't quite know at the moment, but very much so looking forward to what's upcoming. So that's what we're going to call it. I'd love to hear your thoughts and feedback down there in the comment section down below. Do you like what we saw with this behind the scenes video? Are you looking forward to more? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts below. But if you enjoyed the video, you found it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on the video. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Modern Warfare 2. We'll keep you up to date with everything you need to know. That said, thanks so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.